So 2019 is the year we're going to see iOS 13. Here are my top 30 features I would like to see. Now, it's only January. Yes, I know it's early. We normally see the software release in September. So, yeah, I mean, why not? I feel like talking about iOS 13, and especially iOS 13 is surfacing around the internet right now. So, there's some devices right now running iOS 13. Obviously, it's like a closed beta, and it's obviously for testing. But anyway, let's talk about these features, top 30 features. So get your popcorn ready, get your snacks ready, because this might be a long video. It's time for a redesign. So redesign the UI, new icons, new look. I highly recommend Apple go back to the skeuomorphic design from iOS 6, but kind of like modernize it. Modernize it. So like take the iOS 6 icons, but kind of like put like a 2019 twist to it. But I really do like that skeuomorphic design. Make the icons different. It's definitely time for a refresh. And even removing the labels underneath the home screen right here, it looks 10 times cleaner in my opinion. I want to see a volume HUD change. I am tired of having this volume HUD taking up the entire screen. I mean, look at that, guys. That thing is just in the middle. You know, so intrusive. Apple should make the volume HUD on the side. So you guys see it on the side, so it's not bothering you. It's not in the way. It's not in the center. And the one thing good about this, Apple should do this. Even when the screen is locked and turned off, you could still see it. And you know that's thanks to the OLED. Now for non-OLED devices such as the iPhone 8 or the iPhone 10R, they can not have that feature. And that's another reason why I rock out with all black wallpaper, because it saves on battery life. Because think about it, there's no pixels pushing on the black area, and you can even control it by sliding it up or down. We need to have a dark mode. Look, so this is the dark mode icon. Once I tap on it, everything is dark. So that means everything is gonna be dark. And even if you go on Instagram, let's go on Instagram real quick. So Instagram, as you guys can see, make sure you guys follow him, man. Show him some love. Get him to 2K. Just real quick. He's the homie. But yeah, anyway, Instagram is all black, and this is thanks to... Oh, damn, there she go again. And it's dark mode everywhere you go. This is the App Store. We need this. This is long overdue. Next up, a real music equalizer with sliders this time. Now, I know some of you guys are Spotify users, but on Apple Music, for some odd reason, I'm playing my song, there's no slider. So it's only like presets that Apple choose for you. But meanwhile, on the computer on iTunes, you have the actual sliders. I feel like it's time to add those sliders. I want Apple to redesign the music player. I think it's definitely time. I mean, it just doesn't look attractive. iOS 9 was the best music player Apple has ever made. I mean, we need a battery percentage. Like, all right, this is what we have now. This is what we have now. I think this is what it should be. We should have a battery percentage. If you can see the battery percentage, is a much more easier way to tell if you need to charge or not. So right now, 96%, I'm good right now. This, I don't know what percentage I'm on unless I put my finger down here. I'm on 62, so I'm at the, keeping on my battery percentage by doing that, swipe down every time. But we should always see our percentage, or if not, give us an option to either show the percentage first or just have the icon. The camera, we should be able to adjust the settings right here on the camera application. Why do we need to go into the settings app to change up some settings? Now look, I'm on the music, so I'm going to have to go all the way back. Then I got to look for camera, and then now look, I can change the resolution. Like, it should not even be like this, man. It should have been changed. It should be in the camera application, period. Have like a little drop down menu, or have something here to change the quality settings. Next up, we should be able to hide the notch. I think that should be an option. You shouldn't force people to use the notch, especially now the new iPhone lineups, they pretty much notch city. So either way, any iPhone you buy today, or a modern iPhone I should say, you're going to need to have that notch in the way. But I think you should be able to hide the notch by having a black bar. You guys notice I don't even have a home bar here. So there's no home bar. We should be able to hide that, because sometimes that home bar gets in the way. Especially if you're in Safari, or if you're in something like this. You don't want that home bar in the way. I mean, after a while, when you use your iPhone 10 so many times, we don't need a home bar all the time to let you know to go home. So look, it's just so much neater to not have that there. I mean, it's good for whoever's new to the iPhone 10, but there should be an option to turn off the home bar. Another thing too, Face ID. This is how you unlock Face ID a little bit more faster. Alright, this one here, it automatically unlocks. We should have an auto unlock feature on iOS 13. So it just unlocks. Bloop. You don't even need to swipe up. I get a notification. I'm going to talk about this too in a little bit. So when I get a notification, the phone is unlocked and I'm ready to swipe up. But when there's nothing on the screen, it's automatically going to unlock. You see how that works? Let me do that again. So I get a notification. Bloop. It doesn't unlock the phone, but I can read my notification and then I can swipe up. That's how it should be since day one. Make that happen, Apple, in iOS 13. Or make that an option, I should say. And since you guys saw this already, we should have a brand new notification system. So you see how your notifications come up? The big icon and it has the text on the bottom. I mean, I think Apple should do something like that. And then if you get like a text message, you have the contact photo of the person, and then it shows a message on the bottom. Or if you want to hide it, or if you want to, show it, it's up to you. I think, Apple should do something like this, and it's a little bit more efficient on battery. We need that do not disturb icon. Now, normally on iOS, when you activate do not disturb, you can't tell that you're on do not disturb. Right now, I'm on do not disturb right now. But on the status bar, you can't see the icon unless you swipe on the top there. I don't know if I like that so much. Let's say you're sending someone a text message and you're expecting that text message. You don't know. Now, yes, you have a notification here letting you know you have do not disturb enable, but I would appreciate to have like some kind of icon or something that you'll know quicker. So when I enable do not disturb, it should have something on the status bar. So look, it's a purple bubble. So you'll know it's on do not disturb. I do apologize. I did cut myself yesterday or 2 days ago. So I really do apologize that. But anyway, the keyboard. I think Apple needs to fix the keyboard. Now, you have empty space here, so, maybe emojis or something here, or I don't know, something. It feels so empty here. Picture-in-picture should be on the iPhones already, especially on the iPhone XS Max, that massive display. You should be able to have picture-in-picture by now. Back in the days, I kind of understand because of the 3.5-inch display or 4-inch display, but nowadays, it shouldn't be no excuse. And by the way, I hate the fact how YouTube makes it hard to have picture-in-picture. Like, why don't they have picture-in-picture on the YouTube application, man? The next thing I would like to see on the iPhones, slide over. So I could be able to have Twitter and I can have YouTube on the side. We should have that on the iPhones now. And granted, yes, you're going to need to probably be, holding your phone this way. But even so, have it on top and have it on bottom. Like, these features are so simple, but yet they're so productive that I just don't understand why Apple don't want to add these features. Next up, they should redesign the control center from the ground up, but they should put like the album cover here, and you see how this is cutting off. They should have this like expanded on the top, make this probably on the bottom. I don't know, I feel like the control center is a bit of a mess. I feel like Apple could do better on the control center. In order for you to close all tabs, you have to tap and hold this button here. A lot of people don't know this. Once you tap and hold it, you can close all your tabs just like that on the fly. But I feel like Apple should have a button, especially on the iPads. Look how much space they have on the top here. They have a lot of space on the top. They could easily add like a text or like a trash can icon to delete all your tabs. Something so subtle, but I know Apple can probably add something like that. Apple should also make the activity app live. So if I have my Apple Watch on right now and I'm taking some steps, I'm doing some workouts, I'm doing some exercise, whatever, this should be live and the ring should move in real time. You guys see how the clock is moving on the top here? So the seconds is moving and the time is literally ticking. They should do the same thing with the activity app. The power is there. The power is there. Now this next feature, this should have been a feature since day one, since the iPhone 5S, since iOS 7 basically. We should be able to lock our applications using either Touch ID or Face ID. So if I want to lock my photos, I want to lock the camera, I should be able to do that. You still can't do that on iOS, which is kind of ridiculous. The keyboard should have haptic feedback. The Haptic engine on these iPhones feel great. Sometimes when you flip the switch, you feel that vibration motor. It feels good in the hands. So I feel like if they enable a Haptic keyboard, it kind of gives you that tactile feeling as you typing on a real keyboard. And same thing with the passcode screen. You should be able to feel the button. So when you delete your note, sometimes this happens to me all the time. When you delete a note, it just deletes. You don't get no kind of confirmation, no kind of message, nothing. So having some kind of message before you even delete your note, because sometimes some of these notes be paragraphs, and you don't want to accidentally delete that. So having an option to cancel or delete to confirm it, that will come in handy. Now, talking about the iPhone 10 features, I think we need an always-on display. Always-on display, I've seen it on the Android devices such as the Galaxies and the OnePlus and whatnot. You guys know the Android devices. Having an always-on display comes in handy, especially if you have your phone stand up on the wireless charger. You can constantly see the time. You can constantly see if you have any new messages. And the best thing about these devices is OLED, so all the pixels are off whenever it's black. Some always on devices, they have the text moving around to reduce the burn-in on the display. So I think Apple should add some kind of always on functionality on the iPhones. I'm going to keep on saying that. It's not a hardware limitation. These phones are just as fast as some of these laptops, if not even faster. Don't you guys find it annoying when someone sends you a track, an unreleased track too, that is, or some beats through text message? You cannot save those audio files to your... You can't save it. I mean, you can save it, but it's not going to save properly. I want to be able to save. Anytime when someone sends me a text message or a beat, I should be able to do this and tap on save. But the thing that I'm so confused on, where does it save? I just checked my music. I checked everywhere, and I cannot find it. I checked my photos. It's not even here, which would be silly if it'll save under photos. But it's like, why can't I be able to add tracks to Apple Music? Not for the whole world, but just on my device. I should be able to do that. Easy. I should be able to have the title. I should be able to type that in, the artist, the artwork. I should be able to do all of that. And of course, this is without a doubt, Siri improvements. We need some Siri improvements, man.
In my realm, anyone can be anything.
I like the fact how we can wake up our iPhone 10s by tapping on the display and then unlocking it just like that on the fly, but I want to be able to lock my iPhone 10. So in order for me to unlock my iPhone 10, I have assistive touch, so it's like a little bubble here, so you guys can see that little bubble. I could double tap that and it'll lock, or you could just press the side button. But the thing is, I want to be able to double tap the home page or the home screen right here and unlock my device. For example, it should be just like this, and my device is locked. But only if I'm on the home screen, not on an application. So double tap to lock, tap once to wake up the device. It's so seamless without raining out your buttons. Now, one thing with Apple Music that's a little bit annoying, you have the year. Sometimes the year don't even matter too much. I mean, yes, it matters, but we should have the full-on date. On iTunes, you have the date on the bottom. But on Apple Music here on mobile devices, we don't have nothing. We just have the date that the song release and how long the album is. That's it. And we have of course we have the label. I know Culture 3 is coming out very, very soon. I would like to know when Culture 2 came out exactly. I would have to go on the internet and look it up. Now these last four is just strictly on the iPad. Now, first thing, we should have better iPhone support. Apps like Instagram, which I cannot stand. I cannot stand how Instagram to this day doesn't have iPad support. Like, come on, Instagram. How you don't have iPad support? But the least that Apple can do is have, expand the iPhone apps to edge, kind of make it seem like it's part of the iPad, but it's really not. You guys want to hear a joke? If you buy an iPad, it could be any iPad, the $1,000 iPad, it could be the 11-inch iPad, whatever. You're not gonna have a calculator app. There's no calculator app. There's no weather app. You have to install those apps yourself.
No.
But Apple did recently added in voice memos and stocks. I would take the calculator and the weather any day of the week. Another thing too with the iPads, since Apple want this to be a laptop replacement, we should be able to have mouse support. I feel like mouse support would make some of these apps better, such as like Rush, or if you use LumaFusion, or if they add in Final Cut Pro, that would be amazing. You have keyboard support, but I feel like having a mouse it makes things a little bit more natural, you know, because when you type in something on the keyboard, then you gotta, you know, reach all the way up to your iPad and tap, and then, you know, that's not really an efficient way, I feel like. And last but not least, the last feature that I want to see on iOS 13, a complete overhaul on the iPad. So I want this to be a totally different experience. This is the same experience on my iPhone, literally, but it's just blown up. I want to be able to have widgets. This is a big enough display to have widgets and have like stuff going on. You know, I just feel like it's just so similar. Picture-in-picture FaceTime. So you could check on Instagram or check on Twitter while you have the FaceTime chat. Now, one more thing, I hate the fact how calls take up the entire screen. It should be like a little notification on the top that says, I don't know, call from this person, FaceTime. And that pretty much concludes my top 30 features list that I would like to see on iOS 13. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm not going hard on Apple. I just feel like some of these features are so simple that they should have been there since day one, honestly. When I mean day one, I mean iOS 7. You know, iOS 7 was a completely new era. And I know iOS 13 possibly is going to be a brand new era as well, too.